Hey guys, Buckskin Dave here. Oh, anyway, I just was doing a little shooting. Man, the weather, that storm is coming down the center of the country. Sidelines are getting some weather. We had two or three nights ago, it was 20 below. And then it was, that was like the coldest. And some places around the valley here were colder and some places were warmer, but not many places were much warmer. Um, And then it warmed up a little bit and we got a little bit of snow, not really much, an inch or two, but enough to be aggravating. So the weather hasn't been conducive to shooting. I know that even when it's moderately cold and not really horrible, 20 below cold, and we did have a little bit of breeze going too. Um, it's no fun to shoot because the metal gets so cold, even if it's not a bad day to be out there. Uh, That cold metal makes your hands cold. Anyway, I was just shooting at some close steel, just practicing holding the gun up and holding it steady for offhand shooting. And of course, that was with the Gemmer, and that Gemmer is heavy. So it's good to practice. Another gun that I'm going to shoot a little bit today is my 3855. And you've seen the last things we've been working on this 3030. And now we're at the point where we need to start finding some parts, internal parts to, it functions, but it could function a little bit better. I think a few parts are worn in there. But I was looking at them, and the two that I have, this one belongs to somebody else, and then of course this one's mine. The only difference between these two is the barrel length, and the barrel on the 3855 is 24 inch, and it's a full octagon barrel. This one has a round barrel, which makes this rifle quite a bit lighter. This one was made, it's a pre-64, and it's a way pre-64. The serial number is in the 1,300,000. And one of the things I was talking about, a difference between the pre-64, this one's post-64, but it's also still an angle eject. It's probably was made in the late 60s with the serial number. If I remember correctly, we were talking about this pin here. And on the pre-64s, it's a pin. And then it has a screw right here that holds that pin in. On the post-64s, there is no screw here, you can see, because what they did, instead of putting a pin in there, it's actually a screw. So that's what holds that together. So that's one of the things you could look for. The other difference, of course, is caliber. This one's a 30-30. And so the 3855 was not, even though they came in the 1894, it wasn't made for it. The 3855 come out, around 1876-ish, and it was a Ballard cartridge, and it was designed for a single shot. And the straight wall cartridge, you guys know what it looks like. And it's, how long is it? I could probably get you, I don't have, oh, here we go. So lengthwise, the overall cartridge length on this one is 2 inches, 500 thousandths. The brass is 2 inches, 50 thousandths. Anyway, it was a black powder cartridge. It was a straight wall cartridge. They, when they first come out, they were actually a true 38. The bullet was .3775. It was almost 38 caliber. The 3855 barrel that I put on here is a .375, and Most of them now, the new ones are 375. And even the Winchester came out with their 375 Winchester, which is a new version of the 3855. They are not interchangeable, however, but they are very close in dimensions. And so in 1894, when the 94 come out, they did chamber the 3855 in the 94s. And I believe Marlin did also. And they were a good round, believe it or not. I thought they were. So now you have the 3030. And the 3030 looks very similar, only it's a bottleneck, and it's a long bottleneck, which means it has quite a bit of brass between the bottleneck and the end of the brass. But it's about the same length, and it looks like it's almost the same case, but it's squished down. The 3030 though came out in 95. So they put it in the 94, and at that time it was designed as a smokeless cartridge, so it didn't come out as a black powder cartridge. Both of them are really good. One of them shoves a bigger bullet, and I make my own. Let's see, where's one at? Here we go. They're 375. That's not, I don't make them because if you get an old vintage gun, you need to slug that barrel. So you put the right size bullet down that bore. If it's a newer one, it's going to probably, I would slug it anyway, but it's going to probably be a 375. These are factory loads, excuse me, that Winchester made, and I bought these a long time ago. I'm not even sure if they still produce them, but this is a jacketed bullet, and they work really good out of the three. But the thing I don't like about these is they're not, you can give them a little more pizzazz. These are running really, like, I don't know, I can't remember, 1,300 feet a second. You can get a little more pizzazz out of them. I prefer to make a lead bullet, and that's this one here. And this is a 375 diameter. It has a gas check on it, and it's a lead bullet with the grease rings on it. This one weighs, the mold says 249 grain is what the mold says. These weigh a bit heavier with the mixture that I use, and it's not I don't make a real soft mixture, but it's not super hard either. And these weigh about, I think they were coming in more like about 260 grains. But with smokeless powder, I could get these babies going 750 feet a second safely. I can get them going faster, but that's my most accurate speed. And even though they're only going 1,750 feet a second, it's a bigger pill than the 150 grain 3030, but they have the 150 grain 3030s going. Well, these ones here, it says, the guy'd have to crony it. These are 2390. So with the difference in weight, bullet weight, difference in velocity, I would bet that they're going to put out pretty much the same energy, at 100 yards. For me, 100 yards, it's an open sight gun. You've heard me say it before. It's an open sight gun. With my eyes, it's a 100-yard gun anyway, maybe 150. So I'm going to shoot this today. I'm going to shoot this a little bit, mainly because I need to take it apart and start looking to figure out what parts. I found a new company that has Winchester parts. They're called, look them up on the internet. I haven't dealt with them yet, so I don't know how they are to deal with. But they do have a lot of Winchester parts called Homestead Gun Parts. They're in Arizona, I believe. I can't remember what town. Anyway, they have a pretty good listing. Some of the parts that I've tried to look up already, they're old original parts, but they're also out of stock. So I need to look through here and figure out what parts I need and get them coming when I can find them. Some places have them, some places don't. But I was really impressed with this. They have a very good line of parts. So it's something to check out. Anyway, so that's pretty much what I'm going to be working on today. I also took out a couple of these guys. These are some beaver tails that I've had in the freezer. These are some pretty nice beaver. And I want to get them to thaw out. I can skin them, and I'm going to tan them and make some knife sheaths out of them. I think they'll make some really cool knife sheaths. Muskrat has been working on this. He's got the process close to perfect. And I did some. Well, you remember I did some last year. They didn't quite come out, and that's when we were both working on it, and the process that I was working on didn't come out quite good. But between him and I think I should get these to probably work. So they got to thaw out, but that'll be another thing I'm going to work on today. And I'll bring you along for this journey. Anyway, I'll go out and shoot this 30-30 just a bit. So why don't you come along and we'll see. Shoot it at some metal
so
target.
it's 3855. I was going to shoot first. These are those 250 grain lead bullets with a gas check. I'm pretty sure this is 30-31 in this. I load this as smokeless. I have loaded it with black powder. They both shoot good. I guess it just depends on what you want to do. But wow. Oh, I see. Jacket caught in. Anyway, here we go. Uh-oh. That one didn't come out. One more. Like it. Anyway, I enjoy shooting this gun. Pretty nice gun. I'm going to shoot a couple of those jacketed bullets, those factory loads from Winchester. Like I say, I pretty much make my own bullets for this. So anyway, I don't know if you'll notice that they're not going to be as hard hitting, but I don't know if you'll notice that. Anyway, let's go. They definitely don't boot as hard. They shoot accurate though. I got to say they're pretty good. So anyway, let's try the 30-30. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and try a few of these 30-30s. These are 150 grain. They're going about 2,400. Is that what we said? I don't remember. Somewhere in there, 2,100. Like I say, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with this gun a little bit too. So I'm going to shoot it a bit, and then let's just see how it does. No, it's not. Okay, not hitting. Well, the last time I did it, it shot. Oh, it's hitting. That bullet didn't. Not hitting hard enough, maybe. Last time I shot this, it shot fine. Or it shot. It didn't shoot fine. But it's denting the primers. apparently not hard enough to set it off. So I'm pretty sure we're going to need to do some work on the firing pin. Probably going to need a firing pin and maybe the block. The last time we shot it, the primers were pushing out too, but it always shot, and I don't understand why it's not shooting now. Anyway,
Okay, so one of the things that, and I kind of thought I was going to need to do this anyway, is it's probably going to need a firing pin, because when I push that in, it doesn't come out very far. So it does, but it goes way in. And the other thing that could happen, especially with a gun this old, the mainspring is rather light. Let's see what the mainspring feels like on this one. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So the mainspring feels a little light. This was a duplex load, so pretty much mostly black powder. What's great is that within duplex loads, that smokeless burns out a lot of the fouling. One of the things I wanted to emphasize too, I keep getting comments of people asking for loads, smokeless loads. I just will not give them for two reasons. One, it kind of violates YouTube's policy, and then they get, put me in jail and stuff. And then the other reason is I don't know how you're going to use it or what you're going to do. Really, the third reason is the whole fun is building them up yourself. Start with a book, like your Lyman book or whatever and go on the internet. Hodgkin has a computerized setup on the reloading tables on their website where you can pick a caliber, powder, and all that stuff and figure out which one works. What you have to do too is sometimes you won't see the powder in the book under the bullet weight or whatever you want. One of the things that I did with some of the powder is the 4590 is only 3/10 longer than a 4570. Okay, so if you find the powder in a 4570 with the same bullet weight and stuff, if you start with the lowest end of that in the 4590, most likely you'll be okay, and then you can work it up there until you start seeing pressure problems. That's kind of the fun of the whole deal. I can't give you these things to start with. You have to start with your book, start with something, use a little common sense, and work up your load. And you'll have so much fun doing it, plus you'll get to shoot the gun more. Anyway, I'm going to finish with this. That's all I got for you this time. I'm Buckskin Dave. Stick with me. We're gonna do those beaver tails again, and I know that might have come of some interest to some of you. So stick around. Bye bye.